Things I Learned in Current Problems in Business Case Studies by Gabriel Ruckus. During week one, we took the management style inventory where I learned that I was a hard team builder. While the hard style is great for somebody like me that comes from a military background while I was in the military, there's not much use for it in the civilian world. There are times where, when deadlines are looming, the hard style is effective. However, it is not an effective long-term leadership style. Knowing that, there is some hope for me. I learned that my second highest trait was a team builder style, which is one of the strongest leadership styles for the civilian marketplace. They're seen by others as perceptive, a catalyst, a coach, an integrator, a theory why, and adult to adult. The other thing that really stuck out to me this week was the fate of Christ's disciples and his notable followers, and how that was a testament to his leadership. It was interesting to see how many of his followers died horrible deaths long after he was crucified, risen, and ascended. During week 2, I read chapter 8, 4 Steps to Build Your Team by the book. Something that stuck out to me during this week were the 3 tips for hiring right. The first tip was pray before making hiring decisions. And I thought it was interesting that not only pray after your interviews, but pray for your new hires before the interview process even begins. That God will bring somebody into your team that's beneficial and a team player. The second tip was hire those who are already working and productive. I think a lot of times we try to focus on, especially in this job market, with skilled trades, it's hard to find qualified candidates from a pool of people that aren't working. And I thought it was interesting that we need to focus on attracting qualified passive candidates. An example was Christ doing that with the disciples when he told them to lay down their nets and follow him. They were already working. And also hire people who give you something to work with. My boss has always said he would much rather hire somebody that's teachable than somebody that knows everything. Job ethic is so hard to instill into people that just have a poor work ethic. And I think that I would rather hire somebody that's maybe not completely qualified for the job, but has a good attitude and comes to work ready to work. Week 3 was a difficult week for me. I learned a lot about my character on my current job and how it's lacking. A few of the points that stuck out to me the most were don't tell white lies. I've got a bad habit of telling my boss, yeah, I'll get on that tomorrow, with no intent of getting on that because my workload is too heavy. And rather than being honest with my boss and explaining it to him that we need to work on cutting back some of my workload, I tend to have an attitude and tell the little white lies, knowing that he's not going to check up on me again until much, much later, and by then it'll be done. But I'm still lying to him. The second thing is going the second mile. Currently what I'm doing is very monotonous, and there are times where I tend to not do the best I can, and I tell myself, hey, it's good enough for who it's for, but it really isn't, because we're supposed to do everything unto the Lord, and I haven't been behaving that way. And the last is reconcile and forgive immediately. And as a leader in the military, I was very good at this with my soldiers. If they did me wrong or I did them wrong, I was the first one to apologize or the first one to grab them and clear up the situation. Um, However, from a peer-to-peer standpoint, I'm not so great at it. There are a lot of people I work with that I hold a lot of grudges with. because it seems like a lot of times they're making my job more difficult. And rather than going to them and explaining this to them, I tend to stand back and just hold a grudge. And that's something I need to stop doing.